Hi, I'm Amy. On Thursday, the 18th of August, we conducted a field visit to Inspire in Lilydale. It was really hard to get a hold of Barbara Dobson, who was our delegated field visit public health officer. My thoughts upon arriving was that the building was very warm and welcoming, but by this I mean the company made their building with bright blues and yellows, and a lot of Aboriginal art on the walls. My thoughts before the field visit were slightly impatient because all of the confusion trying to organise a meeting. I had personal issues on the day as well, which affected a good headspace to enter. But upon walking in, I felt extremely professional and confident because of the team that I was with. We were all dressed in business attire and felt confident and sort of fed off each other's confidence. I felt comfortable in the building because it gave off a very community safe vibe. Everything was very colourful and there was a lot of information posters and public health notices all over the walls. The staff were also very smiley. Barbara then took us on a small tour and acknowledged that because this was a GP clinic as well, then we couldn't specifically go into certain rooms and we couldn't walk through the waiting areas because that would be rude. But as we were walking through the halls, I imagined myself working there as I peeked into the rooms and in through the windows and imagined one of those desks being my own, covered in all my work. Upon sitting down with Barbara and listening to her talk about the organisation, I learned a lot about the company because I previously had no idea what Inspiro was or what they did. I learned some valuable information as well as what their company does. I learned that in Barbara's field, she was working with the Close the Gap campaign. They were also given cultural awareness training because an Aboriginal woman felt that she had to quit due to barriers. I wasn't sure what this meant and had a rough idea, but asked and allowed Barbara to elaborate. An example of a barrier that made her quit was cultural blindness. This is something that people don't realize that they do and makes certain groups feel uncomfortable or unsafe. This could be jokes, words, professional culture that equal discrimination, and I wasn't quite sure what was going on there, but I don't think it was my place to ask specifically what discrimination, and it's hard to describe further because I don't know what she had faced. But basically what I took from this was that there's definitely a professional attitude expected from everyone, and it's not just there for a public appearance, it's there for equality. I had noticed that Barbara was a very, very quiet person. Even though her communication skills were adequate, at times I missed a lot of the things she was saying. However, this didn't stop me from asking a lot of questions when the time was right. I asked her a lot of specific questions relevant to the unit, like what are the main partners Inspiro work with and how they build their capacity. I learned that in the Aboriginal community, it is best not to perpetrate colonisation in a way that they do business. So if there's land barriers, it's more about waiting for when they're ready for the clinic rather than pushing or imposing a mainstream desire for certain clinics. Travelling to Inspiro was a good learning experience for me to see what health organisations run on a smaller scale. Because last year, unfortunately, I didn't pass this unit and had to repeat it, and the field visit that I did last year was to the Department of Human Services in the city, and I loved it. But something about a smaller health organisation feels more welcoming because of the deep sense of community involvement. In the past, I thought I wanted to work for the Department of Human Services because I was so easily blown away by its capacity and what it could do. But now I've seen what a public health organisation can do on a smaller scale, and I feel that in the future I would like to work somewhere more like Inspiro rather than the Department of Human Services. If I had to go back to this day and do it again, I don't think I'd change much because it ran very smooth, but I would probably find out what other roles they had there. I did ask, but Barbara was very skimmy with that sort of thing. She skimmed it, and I'd like to know what people do under other public health roles. I was having a think about what I wanted to do in the future, and I know I wanted to start out working with children or somewhere with small projects. And the more small projects I do, the more network and capacity I can build. I feel as if Barbara would be someone I could email for support and ask her anything. She was very kind and had a lot of knowledge in the industry. During the interview, I said I felt that an undergraduate bachelor degree doesn't get as many jobs as I'd hoped, in comparison to students that have masters. Barbara overheard this and provided multiple examples of undergraduate positions and reassured that my knowledge was valuable and not to be so hard on myself. She was a very kind person, and she's almost like a role model to me now I've met her. I aspire to be like Barbara when I'm older because she knows what she's doing, she's got experience, and she's confident in herself. And I believe that's really empowering. I want to be someone that can walk into my workplace happy, knowing that I can go out and do something today that's going to make lives better. That's my future goal, my big goal. Thank you.